Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster 100% guide. We are here to get a boat, but first, before our arduous trip over the sea, we're going to just heal ourselves up, get back to full HP and MP, so we can basically go on our merry way. See, I'm looking at Tainted and I'm like, can we get her magic interference even lower? And then I'm like, what exactly is causing all this stuff? And then I'm like, it is her mace then. And then I'm like, leather gloves are giving, a bit more defense and not too much magic interference. So it's tricky. It's tough to know what the best or right thing is, really. But yeah, we're after doing a decent bit of grinding. Our mages nearly have 1,000 HP, which is massive, considering we're only an hour into the game, But Recusant having more white magic spells is always great. Obviously using his dagger now instead of a staff. So then I'm like, do I give myself way more defense? And actually the Copper Cuirass is doing less magic interference, so yeah, let's do that. We talked to the pirate in the blue bandana, and he's going to basically give us a ship that'll get us across the sea to Poft. Now, we are technically able to walk up along the mountainside, so you can physically walk there, which is one option. Or you can get there much quicker by boat, brought straight to the door, and then we are able to obviously run into more creatures, which is not what we really want to be doing. But at the same time, it gives us money, it gives us experience. It's not the worst in the world. But once we get to Poft, we have another bar. It seems that all of the important things that happen in this game happen in a bar. We have our nicely dressed gentleman over here. This is Sid. We're able to learn about airships, and we can ask about the Dreadnought or about airships. And he says, if you want to go by airship, you can talk to the guy behind me. Now, behind him meaning to his right, not the guy actually behind him. So we can exit there. So it's not that guy, it's the guy to the right. And he says, we can bring you to all sorts of places all around the world. Just tell us the destination and you'll be there in a blink of an eye. And it gives us all the different costs there. And basically, we want to be brought to Salamand. And then he's like, there's no refunds if you want to cancel. And I'm like, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Ignore me. I'm going out to the airship now. Once we get to Salamand, there's a couple of enemies on our bestiary list, and obviously we need to go into Salamand to make sure that we get our achievement for going to every single area in the game. So we've now gone to Poft, which is good. We've stepped foot in there and added it to our map locations. And now that we're in Salamand, we have to find an ally of the Crown. And they are basically a Mythril miner or a Mythril worker. And they're up the north side of this town. We are able to go to the magic shop and we can have a quick look, see if there's anything new we want to get. And we absolutely want the Life Tome. And Sap reduces MP. Not sure I want to attack. Well, it could be good against magical enemies, I suppose. And then we have Teleport and we have the Warp Spell. Since Warp Spell is black magic, I don't mind giving it to Tainted. It might be handy if Recusant runs low on MP, we can still warp our way out of dungeons. As far as I can tell, Teleport teleports you all the way out to the world map, whereas Warp seems to teleport you if you're on floor 4, you'll go to floor 3, and then floor 2, and then floor 1, and then exit the cave. So we're just going to up our arsenal a small bit. And they can be fun as we level those up as well. But once we're finished there, we can basically make our way up and around the corner. And I'm just going to sort my items as well, because this whole thing was really upsetting my rhythm. But anyway, we can head north along the city. I mean, north along the city. Why were they leaving? Silly recusant. If we head up to the northeast of the town, there should be a girl in a pink dress by a house. That is when you know you've gone to the right house. So just up this area here, we see the girl with the little pigtails. And in here we have Yosef. Yosef is our man to talk about Mythril, so we can ask him about Mythril. Mythril, I haven't found any yet, and I don't have a plan on sharing. You're all total strangers. I'm going to need you to do something to prove you are who you say you are. There's a bunch of people from Salamander being forced to work in the cave at Samit Falls. Rescue them, and then we'll talk. So we're now being sent on another mission. We have to find the Samit Falls and then rescue these indentured servants being brought to the mines, you know? So, we can walk along this area, and in this part of the overworld there are a few new enemies for the bestiary. One of which being the Sasquatch. So we can absolutely now use our wonderful fire magic from Tainted, and DJ can beat them up. No bother to him. And then we can have Minryu just cast defensive magic, putting up barriers now. Recusant with the protect. We just have all the white magic going for us. And dealing 900 damage. Oh my god, he's so strong. Warp being an instant KO, it makes sense that like it has a high chance to miss. But since we've gotten all these amazing protective armor, and now we have like warp and everything, it's just going to be so fun. Recusant diving in with his little dagger, chopping one down to size. Tainted trying to rip apart the fabric of reality. She's just not there yet. But look, we enjoy and, like, you know, stand perseverance in this house. Recusant getting his knife leveled up. Very good. And as you can see there, that's actually the little cave we have to go into. But if you keep around this area, we can find vampire thorns. A new enemy for the bestiary, it seems. Very quick and easy to defeat. They didn't even need triple digits to be taken care of. Recusant now crests his HP into the thousands. That's always very positive. And basically, we're still wandering around trying to find that one other enemy. It's basically a queen bee, I believe. It's like a more powerful bee enemy. And the thing with some of these creatures is the random encounters change later on in the game. So you want to make sure that some of these lower level mobs, like goblins, well, like you will get goblins, but like, you know what I mean? These other low level enemies that might potentially vanish if you go too far in the story, you have to make sure that they are being collected and put into your bestiary. But with enough perseverance, we do end up finding our lovely queen bee, the little purple-skinned bee there. And with a very powerful icy barrage, they are all taken care of. And with the bestiary updated, we can now go into the cave. And how we get to the cave is very simple. It is just a matter of going down the canal in our canoe and make it to the cave. And as you can see, I'm just literally like, well, in case there's some other random enemy that could potentially spawn, I'd rather encounter them than not. What you'd be thankful for is that there's no random encounters in the rivers anymore. So there's no more river encounters, no more hunting for regular crocodiles, and we only seem to find the white crocodiles. Even though Final Fantasy I said the white crocodiles were less common, but yet they were all I seem to find. Same with the red fish. But look, with all those battles, we end up getting the achievement for slaying monsters. We're now into the Summit Falls, and these have a few enemies for us to collect. So rest assured that we will show you all of them as we travel along through. There will obviously be some duplicates. That's to be expected. But what's super nice is that whenever you cast buffs like Protect, it seems that Recusant ends up getting more spirit, which is what applies his healing power to his spells. But as you can see, we can get the Sasquatch in here as well. But, you know, again, this is just where you can find them first. So that way, once you max out your bestiary, you can just turn off encounters and collect them as you go. So we do have the Sprinter, little blue ostrich fella. So one wallop from DJ easily sorts that out. We're going to collect now our treasure chests from the area. And I'll just let you guys know now that unfortunately we do have to come back and collect one stray treasure chest later on in the game. So we'll only get like 10 out of 11 or whatever the case may be. But there is now a Goblin Guard. So the Goblin Guard has now been added to our bestiary. Very good. And as I say, you can still go onto the map and open up the full map in order to see the certain, I suppose, treasure chests in the world map. But follow along where I'm going and you'll get them all as well. As you can see, I just love when the game's like, actually we can throw 8 enemies on the screen. And then you're like, oh my god. It's just so fun to have that option of AoE spells. And it just completely raining icy death upon all of them. Now, I hope you guys don't mind me cutting out the fights, but like they're legitimately creatures we've already seen that we can just at this stage auto battle through as well. So this really is just us trying to find those certain encounters that we can add to the bestiary. Now there is one encounter, it's called the Green Slime. And unfortunately, the Green Slime is only found on the 5th floor of this area. Or like the very, very last floor anyway. Whether it's 5th or 4th, I can't exactly remember. But we found 2 out of 11. And I'd say we can kind of flick back up and be like, okay, we need to find a few of those in Flynn. But the 3 in the bar were all we needed for now. The rest are hidden in another locale. And we will be getting 10 out of the 11 here. Because the 11th is technically a key item that we have to hunt back for in a little bit. But just bullying these little Bigfoot guys, you know? Super fun. Again, the goblins are not tricky, and just going south and around the corner here, we can collect a potion. Going back up north again, we fight more Sasquatches. Getting our spells as leveled as they can. And even with over 1,000 HP, like, DJ's HP is dropping just from the sheer amount of things that are attacking him. As well as his level up bonuses, that's the other thing as well. Like, the level up bonuses will increase his HP and make it look like he's lost loads. But in reality, he's probably just gained more HP over the battles that I'm cutting out. Because they are frequent, and I'm literally like, oh my god, I just need to make sure we get all these bestiary entries, so I don't want to turn off encounters. But what I am thinking of for like future episodes, now, I've kind of recorded a bulk in advance, so only with the benefit of hindsight, but like, hopefully before the end of the series, what I might end up doing is go to a dungeon, turn off encounters, collect all of the treasure chests, and then before leaving that dungeon, I can then turn on encounters and then be able to show you, okay, look, we've gone through the whole dungeon, we've collected all the treasures, now we're going to go back floor by floor and collect certain enemies for the bestiary. Here they are. Here's the ones you can find. Onward we can go with our lives, you know? But just going further south, we can get 200 gil. And then going back up north, we're going to come across some bridges and whatnot. And we're just, you know, nipping our way up through the weapon levels, which is great. As I've probably mentioned already, but we do need to have max weapon levels. So just picking a weapon like DoppelJanger's fists and just saying, that's it, we're just going to use these for the whole game. Eventually we'll get there to level 16 proficiency. And similarly with magic, I just know for a fact Cure is going to be the level 16 magic that we're going to get for the Magic Mastery achievement. So I'm not even worried about magic at this point because I just know Cure is going to be. Nothing in these rooms, and like that is one big complaint about Final Fantasy II sometimes, is that they're littered with doors, and so many of the doors have literally not an NPC, not anything inside them. They're literally just, oh, you just wasted your time coming through this loading screen basically. But other ones unfortunately do have treasures that we will need. And like that, reached level 10 already, only 6 more levels for Cure to go, and we will need to be using Cure more and more as we go along. But finally, we end up finding all of those needing to be rescued. Recusant, it's you! Am I ever glad you're here? This is Joseph's daughter, Nellie. These dastardly Brohairs have been holding her hostage. Princess Hilda told me to come and bring back some Mythril, right? Well, that's normally where I step in, so I figured I'd go to where the Mythril is. So I thought I'd get the jump on you guys and get the Mythril beforehand, only I messed up and got caught. I know when I'm in over my head, but don't worry, I'll take everyone out of here to safety. Thanks for saving us all. And now our task is to continue throughout the cave system and find the Mythril for Princess Hilda. And I think I was, honest to God, hammering way too fast to read that out loud. So if you need to pause and look back on the dialogue, you can. I'm sorry that I didn't read it more professionally for you all, but the TLDR is Soldier just wants to do the job to get the princess's favor. And then all of a sudden he discovers, oh, actually, I got caught, now I need rescuing. And since you've rescued us, I'd at least redeem myself by bringing the hostages back to Salamand. And you guys can continue the hunt for the Mythril pieces. So, overall, that's fine. But yeah, this area is a bit of a maze. So we are going to have to kind of stay focused. And when we get to the cross, we have to go south on the compass. So we can collect another treasure chest. So with an absolutely raining down, call Tainted Lady Thor because she is the goddess of thunder. And now Sasquatches and Sprinters, Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my. Also, really sorry, really silly Liam there. Don't go south on the compass, it is in fact a dead end. My bad. All the goblin guards with a big soldier boy. And they're just eviscerated with thunders. It's hilarious. And I believe I'm literally running around just being like, where are these little green slimes? And I just don't realize that. My bad. They don't appear on this floor. So eventually I'm like, right, I'm just turning encounters off until I get the rest of these treasures. And so just going straight up north before you go to the crossroads give you that fire tome, which is grand. And then we can progress further down onto basement level 5, which is what we want. So here is where the green slimes will appear. And as I say, Tainted just being an absolute badass with her lightning spells. It just is so satisfying. I don't care what you guys say. But just be warned, we are going to want some MP from our spellcasters because... Oh, here they are, green slimes. Very, very nice. One lightning, one kill. And with that, we can now turn off the encounters. I can go through and show you the different bestiaries. We're on 23 enemies. Granted, that's going to be boosted purely because we've been doing grinding in other weird places. So we've encountered enemies that we shouldn't normally encounter. So if you don't have exactly 23, that's grand. But we do have number 76. And we do have the balloon. And we do have the goblin guard. So again, it's just once you have these ones, that's how you guys can know you guys are grand for this area. You can turn off your encounters now. And in this chest, we do have a fairly tough monster, or at least it would be if we weren't so OP. The land turtle is basically immune to physical attacks. That's why you're going to need Tainted to be able to cast her blizzard magic. But as we all know, DJ has the fists of magical fury, so even with his bare hands he can puncture these diamond-like tortoise shells. Not that he needs to, because Tainted sends that dinosaur to the Ice Age. We end up getting a teleport tome, so it was a bit silly me buying one, but we have an extra one if someone else wants to learn it for use in battle. But now pretty much, I believe that's the 10th chest, should be anyway. No, it's the 9th chest because we have the other chest with the Mythril key item in it. And so going up and into the door here to the left, we end up coming across a soldier that we have to defeat in order to get our Mythril piece. Well, you think you're getting the Mythril? My Mythril blade will go straight through your heart. And all I gotta say is, who needs a blade when you have the absolute guns of DJ's arms? So with one fell punch, he is going to see this done. Nice bit of healing. Lightning, and nearly 1,000 damage with one single punch. DJ destroys the armoured clad arsehole. Allowing us to collect our Mythril and then make our way back to Princess Hilda. So as I've said, you're going to see 11 out of 10, or 10 out of 11. You have not missed anything. There is a secret hidden area that we need to go further in the story to get that final treasure chest. So do not worry. You have not missed anything, and you're not going to miss out on the 100%. You'll be absolutely fine. That has been our episode though, Recusants. I will chat to you on our next episode when we hand over the Mythril, and we can then get Mythril armors and continue our quest to free ourselves from the Empire. Talk to you next time. Have a good one.